Good morning. Getting a little feed put out, a little hay, I guess specifically. First thing this morning, I knew this bunch was probably out of hay based off where they were yesterday morning about this time. So, didn't want them to go without. So we're down here early. We'll get this hay put out. We'll get ready to attack the day. There's your sunrise shot. Well, I didn't really plan on unrolling that roll of hay, but oh well. These run into that occasionally. It's not hay that's been stored in the barn. The back spear just won't go into it good from either side, and so we'll get it started, then we'll back into another roll of hay or something to jam it on there. And that's great, but then it won't come off when we get to the field. So, yeah, that's what happened there. And when I finally ran around and shook enough, got it to go off, it was going down this hill. So, whatever. They've got some hay unrolled for them now. Wasn't the plan, but I don't hate the outcome. Now, I do have a hay ring up here that I need to turn back over before they roll it off down the hill. We'll also put them some feed out in the bunks like we always do. Where's the brake? There it is. The camera's mounted on this one. And because we sort of unrolled that one by accident, we could actually bring another roll of hay down here today. Which brings me to my first ramp, which I guess, again, I'm limited to only one ramp per video. Really need a truck. I'd love to have another bale bed so we're not running up and down the road on the tractor all the time. It's actually dried up just enough that I'll probably get out here and feed with the truck today. I'm gonna call on one here in probably an hour or two that I think we'd like to buy. I need to ask a few questions. I nearly had 2 other trucks bought, and the first deal fell through. More an issue with me on my side kind of had to do with the M135 and not knowing how bad the damage was there and not wanting to overextend myself. And then the second one that I thought I had bought just a day or two ago, just dealing with shady used car dealers, salesmen, I don't know, like, man, that just deal gets weirder and weirder, and finally to the point where I was like, forget it, I ain't buying this truck from you guys. I won't do any business with you guys. But anyway, put a little feed out. Oh yeah, they want the hay. They really like the hay, but they love to get them some feed out of the bunk here. So they're gonna come running up here. We're gonna shake some feed down. Kaylin was convinced the feed bins were empty. No, it's just that feed lodges up in there, and she didn't really know all the little tips and techniques to get it out. But anyway, we'll get them fed. Hey, before I do that, y'all give the video a thumbs up, really appreciate that. Also, of course, subscribe if you haven't. I was looking at the analytics, we actually still have a lot of viewers that aren't subscribed. So hey, subscribe, we love that. Then you can come back and get to see them all. But yeah, here they come, they want some breakfast. Heck, I want some breakfast. I gotta get home and eat. We'll get them fed. head back to the house. Gotta take the kids to school today too, so gotta hurry. Another thing we gotta do today, go get some fuel. Kind of a spoiler alert, don't have any huge projects on the docket for today, but I've got about a dozen little things that we've got to get done, such as that. Yeah, another reason I like to have a truck. Put him and run up and down the road on this tractor. Yeah, it'd be easier, especially on these days when I've got other things I need to do. Can come by here on my days where I'm actually in the office, which I gotta go by the office today too. You know, it is my day off. It's kind of an oxymoron when you're any kind of a business owner, but yeah, I can come by here on my way to the office with a truck with a couple rolls of hay. Just makes my life a little easier. We'll see if we can get a truck bought here before the end of the day. We unrolled a bale over there for the cows here at home before we took that hay up the road. So they should be content for a little while. It looks like all the hay feeders are empty though, so we will need to put them out a little. Well, we're gonna keep unrolling them hay. I don't think there's any more rain until Saturday night into Sunday morning. Today's Wednesday, so we'll probably unroll one every morning between now and then, but we'll put a few bales in the feeder later on today, that way. Because they eat more than a roll a day. They eat probably not quite 2, but okay. We gotta get in here, grab a quick bite of breakfast, and then get some kids delivered to school. While we were getting fuel, ran into Brock. He and my uncle are moving some hay, you know, out of the field, moving it home for them to feed. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I was planning on possibly coming out here and getting some of this hay from them this weekend. It's not supposed to rain again until Saturday night. They're moving hay off another farm. So I was just looking. That was some hay. I believe Uncle said it may have gotten rained on one time. You know, it'd be perfectly fine for the cows to eat. They will appreciate it much more than eating a snowball for sure. But he wasn't sure. He thought there was about 20 rolls there. And they got a bunch of other hay stacked around, but some of that's what they're gonna need or some that they've already gotten sold to other folks. But yeah, it's actually 28 rolls, which would really be about 56 of our rolls that we always figured is roughly twice as much hay. So that right there, combined with what we just have left of our own, may be enough to push us across the finish line. So yeah, well, that's our tentative plans for this weekend. Do that on Saturday. We'll also have a ball game Saturday morning, but then I need to double check with the wife. She doesn't already have plans for me, but I should be able to make those few trips Saturday afternoon. Yeah, you can see I've got hay stacked all along the edges of these fields. Good many rolls, but they also feed a good bit of hay, and again, some of it they've got some customers that's already spoken for. So anyway, we're gonna go home, get that tractor fueled up, and I don't know. Let's see what else is on the to-do list. Not sure what the fuel capacity is on this tractor. Let's see if the manual says. I'm sure it does. No doubt it holds less fuel than this transfer tank, so that's gonna be my challenge, is when you get this tank out of the truck, it's not gonna be empty. Only about 24 gallons. That tank holds about twice that. Nobody called the EPA. Yeah, I don't know if you could hear over that pump, but she holds about 24 gallons. So that tank's probably still about half full, which means probably what I'll do is I'll get a pallet to slide it onto and then unload it with the tractor, because it's gonna be heavier than I want to handle just with manpower. Woo. Well, as you can see, we got some hay feeders. I actually had a neighbor that they hadn't had any cattle for a few years now, but had some old equipment and whatnot, called me and said, hey, we don't need this stuff anymore. Come by, look at it, make us an offer. So that's what we did. We're gonna go ahead and, it's 4 hay rings. We're gonna go ahead and unload 3 of them down here at the farm where we got the calves, the yearlings. Just give us the opportunity to bring maybe a little more hay down here at once. We're not having to run down here just every couple of days, but I think we'll unload 3 of them here and may take 1 back to the house. Before we jump on the tractor and go put out some hay, I do want to take a moment to point out just how awesome this weather is. I do a lot of complaining about the weather. It's either raining too much, not raining enough, it's too cold. We'll say it's too hot, not this time of year. There'll be a time for me to make that complaint. But yeah, awesome weather. I think since, well, it was raining on Saturday on Kaylin when she was doing all the chores and taking care of everything for me. It was raining on us while we were duck hunting. It was pretty miserable, although we were killing them. But yeah, and I appreciate everybody, all the nice words for Kaylin. I try to get her more and more involved. Of course, the reality is she's usually handling, you know, keeping the house in order, keeping the kids fed, and just from killing one another or themselves and running back and forth to ball practice. So she's very involved. The channel wouldn't exist without her, even when you don't see her behind or in front of the camera. But you appreciate that. We'll try to keep her more involved. But on the weather, I keep hearing rumblings. I've heard it now from multiple people. Prediction that we're gonna get some more really nasty cold weather like mid-February or sometime in February. Today's January 31st, so our last day of January. And so I'm like constantly refreshing my 14-day forecast, you know, on my weather app. Like it's still looking, you know, there's some rain, but temperature's pretty mild. So I don't know, if we got any weather experts out there or just people like me that are constantly paying close attention to it, if you know of anything coming or you just hearing those same rumblings, let me know. Yeah, if we do get something, which at this point, again, assuming the 14 days correct, it would be, you know, Valentine's Day or after. That makes me nervous because we will be calving at that point. You know, really cold isn't terrible. I mean, really, really cold can be bad on calving. Cold and wet is what we don't want. So, I don't know. That's just something we kind of got an eye on to the future, and we're just a bit nervous. But yeah, weather has been really nice so far. But anyway, we're gonna get on the tractor, get something done. Not accomplished anything by just standing here talking. Don't know if you can really see it right there, but some kind of varmint relieved themselves on top of my roll of hay. I don't appreciate that. That's not being a very good neighbor. We appreciate wildlife, but we don't want them doing that. I I'm not gonna investigate it too closely, although I guess I have to unwrap this net wrap off when I get to the other farm. But I actually shot a coyote right off the top of one of those rolls over there. Well, a little over a month ago now. It was before Christmas. May have been a coyote up there. The old boy, I saw him, went and got the rifle. I was like, where did he run off to? And I'm like, he is sitting there on top of a roll of hay. And he just sat there, and I was like, well, buddy, if you're gonna make it this easy on me. And yeah, we sent him to the afterlife pretty quickly. But anyway, let's head on up the road. Yeah, it's just not a very neighborly thing to do. I'm gonna say coyote. Definitely a fair amount of hair in that scat. That's 4 rolls put out here at home. Got 2 more empty feeders, 3 more if you count the one we just picked up this morning, but I haven't even moved it to pasture yet. But then we're just gonna put out 4. We'll keep unrolling, I don't know, probably 1 roll every morning. Just yeah, continue to get those benefits of feeding that way as well. But it's about 2:30 at 2:30. I'll say, I hope it's not 3:30. I'm gonna start doing evening chores here in just a bit. Actually got to get on the phone. I'm gonna try again to buy a truck. It's been the 3rd time I've been to this point in the buying process. Hopefully I can get this one across the finish line. I like this truck a lot. I guess I'll let you know in the next video or 2. I may have a little surprise to show you. Make sure I don't run into the gate and bend it up. But yeah, may just about wrap it up for this one. Again, give the video a thumbs up. I don't want to say that all the time, but a lot of you are watching and aren't doing it. A lot of you are watching and aren't subscribed. So please do that for me as well. Yeah, keep tuning back in. Yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming along with calving season bearing down on us. Tonight, we're actually eating some duck. You know, if you watched the last video, went duck hunting, had a really successful duck hunt, really good. So we're gonna cook some wild game tonight. Oh, who knows? I'm not sure what Kevin has planned for tomorrow night. We'll probably eat some beef. But you know what we want y'all to do. Y'all eat beef and God bless. See you next time.